According to the Buddhist teachings, this ordinary world is described as something which is cyclical or circular in nature. And you can think of it in a really short-term way or in a really long-term way. So as Buddhists, we of course believe in past and future lives. And so for that reason, ordinary existence is cyclical because we tend to repeat things from lifetime to lifetime. We tend to act out the same habits. We tend to have the same personality characteristics. Like, in fact, in the Dharma, it's often said, if you want to know what you were like in a past life, you should look at what you're like now. So if you're a really angry person now, it's a good sign that you've been angry in a past life too, because you're carrying that same pattern with you. And then, of course, with samsara, the way or the way we ordinary beings tend to work is, we're not really moderate. We don't really stay the same. We get worse. So over time, according to the Dharma, things are getting more disordered. People's emotions are getting more intense. We're becoming less able to connect with like our innately spiritual, nature or our good heart. And so the longer that we let this go on without intervening, or the longer that we let this go on without trying to purify and change those habits, the more unhappy that we're going to be, and the more unhappiness then we bring to others. So that's a kind of long-term view of samsara. But maybe you're a person, you're not particularly yet, or maybe you won't be a Buddhist, but you can still think about the nature of ordinary life as being cyclical, because you can think about what your own mind does. Your own mind is constantly cyclical. We recycle all the same thought patterns. We recycle all the same emotions, and we just sort of superimpose them on different situations. So, for example, if I'm a person who's an angry person, I tend to view life through the lens of being angry, and I find a lot of reasons to be angry, and then I just carry that pattern out with me. Or, we could apply that to any particular emotion. And so the reason why reflecting on the nature of samsara is important is because, again, just in the same way as all the other Lojong teachings, it's another way to look inward. So when we look outside in the outside world and we think, people are making me unhappy, this situation is making me unhappy, it's David's fault that I'm this unhappy, we've already talked about that. Then when we're reflecting on the nature of samsara, it's more like thinking about, oh, I'm an unhappy person, and the outside world isn't doing anything to make me unhappy. I'm a person who's constantly unhappy, and there's nothing on the outside that's capable of making me happy. It's again like turning back and looking inside. And why do we need to constantly do this? Well, kind of one of the main themes that we've been talking about is that emotional struggle is our main distraction in life. So when we get into emotional struggle and emotional conflict, we don't have to think about anything else. All of our energy is totally consumed by that emotional struggle.